Let me first see. Okay. So I'm very happy to see you all here and excited to share with you some things which I've gathered during my lifetime, reading, experiencing, researching, meditating. I'm sure the topic is very, very dear to everybody because everybody is wanting to know what is stored in life for them in ahead. And so there is an excitement, and at the same time, there is uncertainty, fear, and anxiety. What is going to happen? And during all these things which are happening together, what is happening is that we start playing games with ourselves. Uh, and so what happens is that there are lots of pseudo entities, pseudo concepts created by our own mind to kill this anxiety. And so, so, so there is a world inside a world created by us, and then we really get very confused, and at times don't believe so many things, and at times believe all the silly things which are on the so many things happen around, and we are grappling with the fear and anxiety of future, what is going to happen. And sometimes we believe in some things, sometimes we don't believe in some things. But during our growing period, when we are growing from during childhood, mostly the age of less than 7. So whatever impressions during that time are there on us, our mind, those impressions become solid, and they shape our future and our behavior and our destiny. Or say to say, as far as destiny is concerned, it's a simple definition of destiny is that something which is fixed outcome of an activity. So we as a human being are very much interested to know everything about the future. So when are you going to get thing? When are you going to get a job? When are you going to get married? What is going to be your first holiday outside or anywhere? Every event of our life we want to know. But let me tell you that there is a pain around all these things that we are not able to know, and we expect so much, we desire so much, and many times it doesn't happen. And there is a lot of pain associated with all these things, and so I really want to ask some of the people this question. You ask yourself this question that if you know what is going to happen in the future, exactly how it is going to happen, minute by minute, what is going to happen, how boring the life would be. You would know that Corona is going to come. If in November, December, you would know that Corona is going to come. Okay, and at the most, what you would have done is you would have prepared properly. But then all the events which are already going to come in our life, and there is no excitement and there is no surprise, so it will be a very very boring life. Firstly, secondly, not only that, you would know good events also and bad events also. Okay, suppose good events you are able to you'll be very happy when you know that something good is going to happen. But when something bad is going to happen, you know about it, then I think your that time, suppose now in May we know that Corona is going on, and if we come to know that after 6 months the whole world is going to go, this 6 months also will go very in a very painful manner. So it is better that we do not know our future, and it is better that it keeps on evolving every moment. And though we are fascinated about destiny and what is going to happen, but let us see. I have a short presentation to show you and share with you. My thoughts. So let me go with it. So the topic which we are going to discuss today is who are the parents of destiny. When we talk about parents, obviously we know that they are our creators. They have created us. So there must be some creator of destiny. Okay, and who are the parents who create destiny? So there are lots of things about this. Some say that there is God. Some say that there is some entity called Chitragupta who is sitting upside and writing, your destiny. You are when you are coming into this world. Before you come into this world, your destiny is already written, and you do not know it, and you have to just keep on following whatever comes in your life. You can't change anything. You can try. If you try, it brings pain to you. If you don't try, nothing will change. That is what is one school of thought. The other school of thought is that destiny is in our hand. Okay, and we can do whatever we want with our life, and our destiny is shaped by us. That is another school of thought. So these are the two school of thoughts, and the third school of thought is in between. uh, Whenever you are successful, people say ki I have created this success, and I have created this destiny for me. And in spite of your best efforts, if you fail, that time you choose to put things on destiny, that this is my destiny, this is going to happen. So this is what is going on, and it's a very complicated topic, and it has been made very complicated by people, but it is very simple. And this simplicity is already there. If we see it silently and quietly, you will be able to see. My attempt to today will be just to open up what is the real thing, and let me talk to you uh, with slides. So before we want to continue, before we want to control and know our destiny and shape our destiny and have a control on our destiny, it is very important to know what is reality. The reality which we see, that is reality, or there is some other reality which is there behind, what we are seeing. So the slide which you are seeing is exactly telling you that the the, the wheel which that guy is pulling, and is able to see something else. So that wheel is our own created reality, our thoughts, our assumptions. Whatever we think about something, that is the wheel, the filter which we have created. And is that the reality, or there is something behind it? That is what this slide is trying to say. And if we go ahead and see that there are two ways of knowing reality, right? Presently, the mind wants to know what is the evidence of whatever I am saying, or whatever anybody is saying. If there is this kind of reality, then what is the evidence? What is the proof? And that proof has to be tangible. You can see it, you can feel it, you can experience it. That is the proof. That is one way of knowing reality, and another way is just knowing. There is no proof, but just you experientially know. And this way is called as spiritual reality. People meditate, they do dhyana, and then through dhyana they find what is the reality. And that reality is called as spiritual reality. And as far as the peak of the spiritual reality is concerned, people kept on thinking and exploring what is reality, and at the peak they found that in reality there is nothing. There is nothing which exists in reality. So whatever is we are able to see, and whatever we think, it is all created by our own mind. Okay, so that is what spirituality says. So uh, those people who are not very fond of spirituality, and they want that some proof has to be there, or how do I believe? How do I believe that there is nothingness? I can see a table, I can see a car, I can see human beings, I can see a lot of things. So how you can say that there is nothingness? So what is that which I am able to see? So they require some proof. So for those kind of people, the other part of reality is already proved, and that part is science. Science is the only thing which proves everything by an evidence, okay, by proving, by showing, by demonstrating. So this is another part. So only two parts are there to exploring reality. One is by proof, by dissecting everything, okay, by like doing a postmortem of everything and understanding what is reality. If you see science, if you want to understand really what is happening in a plant, science will they will keep on dissecting the plant. If they want to understand the human being, they will keep on tearing human being postpartum. So they also kept on tearing the reality, and they kept on going smaller and smaller and smaller, and they found that the smallest matter is atom, and also smaller than atom is it is made of photon, photon, neutrons and electrons. So when they reached there, they found that this particle, smallest particle called photon, it is not actually a particle every time. Okay. Now this is really a little tricky. So the quantum science says that when you look at something, that matter starts evolving, and if you don't look at that thing, that matter is not there. So ultimately, quantum science and spirituality also both say the same thing. They also say quantum science also says that reality doesn't exist. There is nothingness. Okay, the material world which we are able to see doesn't exist. If you don't give attention to anything, it doesn't exist. Okay, and if you must have heard many sayings that you put your attention, whatever you put your attention to, it start growing. So the science behind that is this only. If you are able to see something and if you putting attention to it, it will keep on growing. The example of this I may have shared with some of you and I may have not shared is that you try example of picking up a color which you want to imagine while you are traveling to office on the same path, and then when you open your eyes, you close your eyes and choose a color, and when you open your eyes, your mind will tell you the color is everywhere. Okay, and the next moment if you choose another color, again that color also you'll be able to see everywhere. In fact, I tried this many times when I was traveling, and I found that if you select a particular color, or small things like belt, belt covers or bag somebody is carrying on, that some small color, every color, the thing is that when you put attention, everything which is not in your attention starts coming into existence. So that is how this science is this science also says. So what is that I'm trying to tell you through these two slides? I'm trying to tell you that there is the reality is what you are able to see is not real reality. That reality is created by your mind, okay, your senses. So the real reality is that there is nothing which is there. Okay. Now we move to what you are able to see. So I want to give you one more example to this slide. That this there are three people who are looking at one thing. Okay, that one thing is tree, but one guy is looking at the whole tree. The another guy, when he sees a tree, he thinks of apple. The another guy who is looking at the same thing, he thinks of dollars, selling apples or selling tree or selling wood. So this is what is going on in their each individual mind. Is called as subjective reality. That is, they have created a reality for their own self, and the real reality is something else. Okay, and this we keep on doing throughout our life. We keep on doing throughout our life, and when one more example which I want to give you how reality is. Reality is like this stone. The whole stone is there. There is nothing inside the stone. Okay, and this guy, consider this guy as you. Okay, and whatever you think, you start chiseling out whatever that thing is not there. Suppose this guy gets a big stone, he wants to create a Shiva out of it. Now Shiva is not there in the stone, ideally. Okay, but the reality is such that everything is in that reality. The stone has everything. Now what this guy does is he cuts out those pieces which are not Shiva. he puts attention to whatever it is there in his mind. So he cuts whatever is not there in that in his mind. So when he cuts everything and he puts attention only on what he wants, so rest of the thing, if they are not there, then whatever he wants, that starts coming into his reality, coming into his experience. So the reality is also same. Reality is like a slate, blank slate. And or maybe a stone or a clay, and whatever you make out of it, it starts shaping. But for us, it is very difficult to adjust and accommodate this. Why? I'm telling you why. Because of this, because we have lots of influences on us. Okay, the most important influences on us is our senses. Our senses keep on distracting us. We are, the moment we are not able to put any attention to anything, that's reality starts going away from us. Okay, so just to give you an example, when you want if you are going to enter into a room, okay, and in that room, there are lots of office people, lots of friends, they are there, and if you enter in that room, there is a one particular destiny which is awaiting you. But while entering, if you feel that there is some obnoxious smell which is there in the room, or there is something which you don't like, which you have seen, or there is some person whom you don't like, or there is something which you hear which is not good, and you take a decision that that thing is not, like, I am not able to like that thing, and you take a decision not to enter that room, and you decide to take some other decision, you start going somewhere else. So that is the time your destiny is getting influenced. Okay, so if you would have entered into that room, you would have had another destiny. If you, because this senses influences you, and you allowed that influence, you went somewhere else, and you designed another destiny for you. So like this, there are n number of influences which keep on happening in our life. Like, there are people who keep on saying that our life is destined, predestined, and everything is written. Okay, and you are here only to follow, but you don't know. Because if you know, then the game will be very boring. So what God has done is, God has written everything, but he has not told you, so you can have fun. But it will only happen, whatever has written, only that will happen. Now, this to me is a really, really very, kiddish, very kiddish, and I don't see a thing in this, because if everything is written, then why would we come in this world? Why do we? Why would we come in this world to make a mockery of ourselves? Okay, and the energy which is around here is so much evolving every moment, that there is nothing which is fixed. So this Chitragupta thing has been just a kind of story created by our own mind to give ourselves some solace, some satisfaction, that yeah, some I am not able to do this because some it is already written. Nobody knows what is written. Nobody can meet this guy called Chitragupta. Nobody can ask him what is written for him in his life, and nobody can at the end of the life also go and ask him, why did you write like this? Okay, so I certainly do not think that this kind of influences, we should allow such kind of influences. Okay, so but this is a major influence. I am not saying it is not, doesn't influence us. It does influence us, and many people follow it, and they allow this Mr. Chitragupta to take control of their life and their destiny. And so there are other influences also. Throughout my childhood, I have heard that there are planets, there are navagrahas, there are so many grahas which keep on creating havoc in your life. There are shanis, there are rahus and ketus. They keep on coming in your life, and they create your destiny, and you are just walking. So let me tell you, this also is true. This is one of the influences which is true, because if you see that this grahas and these satellites, they have influence on the earth also. Okay, earth is 70% of water. So you see the full moon and the no moon, that situation is also created because of influences of all these planets. And we as human being also have 70% of water. So yes, I agree that and even the scientists agree that there is influence of planets and their movement on our body and our behavior. Okay, but these are only influences. Okay, we have control over them, but if we allow control, then they will shape our destiny. So because of this, what happens is there are people who become and pose as pseudo facilitators of your destiny and pseudo influencers. The the Jyotish people, the astrologers, and the tarot readers, they come into the picture, and they start taking advantage of your anxiety, your fear, and whatever you are thinking about your future and anxiety. So they come and start giving you advices, and they are also not wrong. I'm telling you, because there is something called as psychology. There is something called as if you must have heard and read during your science lessons, that the law, Newton's law of inertia, that if something is not disturbed, if something is not disturbed, it continues to be the same state for a long time. So this astrologers and tarot readers, what they do is they try to understand psychologically what is your behavior, what you do, what you have done, and what is troubling you, and then depending upon your behavior, if you continue to behave in that same fashion, if you continue to have same nature and same choices in your life, then the outcome will be definitely same. Okay, so they are also not completely wrong, but their way of telling you that they know everything is a kind of a pseudo facilitating which they are doing here. So these people also have a major role in our life. We allow them to take control, and sometimes we do what they want, and sometimes we give our destiny in their hands. So this set of people also have major influence on our destiny. Then, as I spoke about inertia, then one more influence which is there on our destiny is our own karma. So, whatever planetary influences are there, whatever astrologers keep on telling us, whatever this Chitragupta has written for us, but whatever you do, it definitely has outcome, and that outcome is called a destiny. So your karma also has effect, a major effect on your destiny. So here in this slide, I have mentioned that inertia, which I have already spoken, that if you continue to do one type of karma or one type of activity, the outcome will be fixed, and that is your destiny. If you do not want that outcome to happen, then you keep on changing your karma, action or inaction. So this is how this karma thing is also mentioned in Gita, and lots of people who have not read Gita, but they have experience of life, and they have experienced that whatever they do, it does work. And we have also heard from our seniors, our parents, our teachers, that karma has a major influence. So many influences, on our destiny. And so it is very interesting to know that in all this set of influences, how we are going to go and what are we here to do, and what is that which human being is here on this slide to do. So that brings to me on this slide where I have put a seed here, and for some people it is a seed, and so for some people I see as a tree inside the seed. So here the major revelation will come to you during the whole presentation, that the seed is a start. Okay, that is a baby. A human baby is a seed. Okay, and in that seed there is a possibility of a tree, that the person can, the seed can become, maximum what that seed can become is a tree. Okay, the human being is not so easy. Okay, like a seed. Like if I go ahead and explain you more, in context of seed, if you see the mango seed as a fixed destiny, and that destiny is what, becoming a mango tree and bearing mangoes. Okay, similarly the seed of watermelon, it also has a fixed destiny, it cannot do anything or else, and it can only become a watermelon, full grown watermelon, right? Now between the seed and its full fixed destiny, there are lots of uncertainties. Okay, lots of uncertainties. Those uncertainties are what, whether the seed has been put in the right ground, whether the seed has got all the nutrients, all the water, all the fertilizers, whether the seed has been protected from the environment, from animals, from other things, and whether the seed has been nurtured continuously throughout till it becomes a big tree and bear mangoes. Okay, so that is what is the uncertainty. Okay, in between the seed and the its destiny. Okay, but still it is pretty easy and pretty simple for the seed to say that yes, I know what I'm going to become. The mango seed, if you ask him if he's able to talk to you, if you uh, ask the mango seed what is your destiny, the mango seed knows its destiny. Okay, I am going to become mango tree. Okay. Similarly, for watermelon, for any particular seed, if you say their destiny is fixed, only thing is they do not know whether they are going to achieve their destiny because there are lots of things which are there, variables between them and their destiny. But when you come and talk about human beings and consider human being as a seed, then it becomes little tricky because human being is most evolved being on this planet, and uh, destiny of human being is not as simple as it looks as far as seeds is concerned. For mango, it's easy; it can become mango tree or whatever seed is there. But human being has so many seeds that in this slide I have put this slide, because I didn't get a slide which has infinite seeds. Okay, and obviously this is used only for explanation. So this slide tells you that human being has multiple seeds. Human being can become anything. Okay, these seeds are lying dormant inside us, and whatever seed we want to nurture, that seed starts taking shape of a tree, start becoming, just to give you an example, inside you there is a banker, inside you there is an engineer, inside you there is a doctor, inside you there is a pilot, inside you there is everything. Now, whatever seed you choose and start nurturing, it will start taking its shape inside you. If I talk about myself, inside me there was a salesperson, so I became a pharmaceutical salesman. So I sold pharmaceutical products, and inside me also I had a banker inside me. So when I thought of becoming a banker, I started nurturing that seed, and then I became a banker. And at some point of time I stopped nurturing that seed of becoming a branch manager and becoming a sales person of banking products. I started nurturing, I chose another seed, and I started nurturing myself as a trainer, and here I am today. I am a trainer. That seed also, when nurtured, I became that. Also, I nurtured the seed inside me which was telling me that I can also become an author. So I started nurturing that and I became author also. So the thing with human being is that it is extremely difficult for human being to nurture all the seeds together. And the only mistake human being does is human being starts nurturing everything together. Human being is not focused. Human being is constantly distracted by this, that sometimes human being goes on red seed, he says, oh, this seed is very good, and when he's trying to put his attention and the seed starts sprouting, then his attention goes to brown seed. He says, oh, brown seed also I like. So that is where the destiny of human being keeps on taking different shapes, and the human beings are not able to reach where they want. Okay, most of the times, because they keep on dwindling here and there. And why they can become anything, that is a big problem, because they have immense potential, and they are a big possibility that they can become anything. That immense potential and that infinite possibility itself is a distraction for human beings. Okay. So now here we are going to see that many times people keep on asking me that you say that whatever I want, I can design, and whatever I karmas I do, only those will fetch any results. So there are many events and many experiences in my life which I had never thought, which I had never done anything wrong. Why wrong things happen to me, and why this thing happened to me when I had never asked for it, and whenever I had never thought about it. So let us understand karma, in a bit little detail. The karma is two types of karmas. There are two types of karma. There are conscious karmas and there are unconscious karmas. There are non-physical karmas and physical karmas. In the sense, non-physical karma, when I'm talking about, that is our thoughts. When we are thinking in our mind, those are also karmas. So karma, the precursor of the action is in the mind. First you think, and when that thought becomes so intriguing and so interesting for you, and you get attached, to it, your feelings also get attached to it, then you start putting action on it. Then the physical karma comes into picture. So karma is thinking and karma is physical also. And the karma is conscious and unconscious. How this is, I'll just share with you that we have two minds. One is the conscious mind, which knows what is happening, and the another is subconscious mind, which knows but you don't know that it knows. Like suppose you are sitting now and attending this webinar on destiny. Presently your senses are taking lots of information other than what I'm talking. There are lots of other information which you are taking. You're taking to slide, whatever environment you are presently in office, at home, all the environment and all the data around you that is continuously getting gathered. Okay, and you do not know what is happening and how what data is going inside, and what thoughts are consciously thought and what thoughts are not consciously thought. So when you do not know the outcome which is just presented to you and you are shocked, what is this happened, I have never thought about it. That is when you have done some action or some thoughts which you were not aware, unconsciously you have done that. That it keeps on presenting in your future, in your life. And so it's little bit complicated. The only solution to this is that whatever you do, you have your full attention on that thing. Suppose you are attending this webinar, then the world should not exist for you when you are attending this webinar. If that happens, then you will be able to absorb everything which is happening here, and then you will be very much aware. Okay, but what happens in life? We are not living a very aware life. We are living a life which is kind of conscious, unconscious life. Sometimes you're conscious. Let me tell you, we are conscious only when there is a threat. Okay, when there is a serious threat to our survival, then each and every cell in our body becomes conscious. Rest of the things, when we are not having threat, when we are relaxed, that time we are little bit unconscious. And during that time, lots of things which happen, we are not able to capture. And everything you think and everything you do, it definitely presents itself as a outcome. And that outcome, if it is favorable to you, you think that yes, my destiny is good. And if it is not favorable to you, you think that I have not done this, why it has come to me. Okay, so from here we are going to move ahead and look at the crux. Look at the crux, that so it comes to a point where then what is destiny and how does destiny come into picture. Destiny parents are our thoughts and feelings. Let me tell you, there are human beings think about 60,000 thoughts, 60 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. you know 60 to 80,000 thoughts is a huge number of thoughts. And given given this reality that every thought has a possibility of becoming reality. Okay, 60 to 80,000 thoughts and different thoughts every day. Can you imagine how chaotic our mind is? And when this thought gathers momentum in terms of to give attention to that thought, if you like that thought, if you like a picture, if you like a person, then you start attaching your feelings to it, and then that thought gains more energy. And when it gets more energy, it starts taking a form, start taking a matter form. And then when it start taking matter form, it comes into reality. And when it comes into reality, you say that my dreams have become real. Okay, so the crux of everything is your thoughts and feelings. So I want to show you one small clip, because let me tell you that human being thinks that communicating with each other is the most simplest thing. But let me tell you, it is extremely difficult for a person to tell what he means by something to somebody else. Okay, and we assume 99.99% of the time, we assume that if I think apple, then the person who is hearing apple also means the same thing. Surely he means apple, but for him apple may be something else. For him apple may be a green apple, or maybe an apple which is he has an attachment, he has a feeling that when he ate apple, he had stomach ache. So whatever you think that your attachment with one particular thing doesn't mean that the next person also has the same attachment. So I'm taking, because of this I'm taking a help of video to show you what I mean to say, that there are 60,000 thoughts. Okay, and I want to show you this slide. Sorry, this video. Okay, are you able to see this video? How can I confirm the screen? Uh, Let me ask somebody.
Yes, we are able to see it.
You are able to see. Okay, okay, thank you. So this is a small one, less than 1 minute clip where I want to tell you this is a clip of a robo movie. Okay, I want to give an example that 60 to 80,000 thoughts, and you have one thought. Suppose you have one thought which you want to pursue in life, and what happens? See. So now what I want to tell you is that if you consider that one mosquito which this robo was trying to pursue is a thought, a single thought. So when that thought is single, you can run after it, you can pursue it easily because you are able to see it. And but when you saw that that mosquito went into a place where there were thousands of mosquitoes, how even that robo got mad. What has happened now? Where has that mosquito gone? So this is what happens to us, that when we are pursuing one thought, and when you are pursuing that thought alone, and when you are going outside, or your mind is going outside and having so many exposures to through your senses, movie, people, office, that time your single thought goes into those multiple thousands of thoughts, and then it becomes very difficult for us to pursue that thought and find that thought and again pursue it to its conclusion. So the destiny can be only shaped when you are able to concentrate. You're not able to distract your self through your senses, whatever is happening around you, and still pursue that single mosquito. In all those thousands and thousands of thought, out of 60 to 80,000 thoughts, if you have selected one thought that I want to become a trainer, then all those thoughts don't exist for me. Only one thought exists for me. But it doesn't mean that all those thoughts will not bother you. It doesn't mean that all those thoughts will not distract you. Doesn't mean that the Chitraguptas, the astrologers, other people, your boss, your colleague, neighbors, a lot of other people, a lot of sensory distractions will not disturb you. They will play their own role. But what is in your hand is to constantly pursue that particular thought without getting distracted. And even if you're getting distracted, definitely you will get distracted. Even if you're getting distracted, come back and again start pursuing that thought. If full moon and no moon is happening, the planetary influences are on you. Definitely, for some time, you may get distracted here and there. You may not feel like putting energy to your goal. But over a period of time, again, you gather energy and put your energy. So the point which I want to make is that there are multiple ways to deal with destiny. The slide which I am presenting presently, there are multiple ways to deal with destiny, and I am not proposing a single way. I'm not saying that you do this, you do that. I'm just telling that there are multiple ways to approach destiny. The first one which I understood was goal oriented. Goal oriented means that I want to pursue something. I want to become a millionaire. I want to become a billionaire. I want to become a trainer. I want to become a doctor. It's a goal oriented way of approaching destiny, and nothing can stop you. But nothing can there is nothing which will not come in your way, that is also not there. So there will be hundreds of people which will be coming in your way. They have their own destiny to pursue. They will keep on coming in your way. Your job, you have a choice. You have a choice to get distracted, or you have a choice to keep on pursuing your goal. Okay, so the first part is the goal oriented. 99% of the people in this world, 99 or maybe major people, are goal oriented people. They keep on pursuing a goal. They sometimes fail, sometimes they reject a goal that I'm not able to achieve it because it is no, not in my destiny. But people keep on pursuing goal. So let me put things in perspective that whatever goal you want to achieve, if you stick to it, if you do not allow the other influences which are happening, they will keep on happening around you. If you do not allow other influences to happen, influence you, then that goal can be achieved sooner or later. Depends upon your intention, your passion, your attachment to that particular goal, how much you are attached. The second way of dealing with destiny is surrender. Surrender that whatever happens, that is my destiny. There are empty people, so many people who are living this kind of life, that they are surrendering. I am not there, whatever happens, okay, I will do it, I will do it. So that is one way which is of surrendering. The third way of dealing with destiny, whichever suits you, I'm not recommending any one of this. The third way of dealing with destiny is that willfully embracing uncertainty. Willfully in the sense you're not surrendering. You know, and you want to ride each and every moment as it comes, and you seek a fun in it. Okay, and you want to see what each moment is going to, where it goes to take you. And while you are moving to the next moment, you are having fun. So you want to see which moment is taking you to which destiny, and you don't have a specific destiny in your mind. Only thing which in your mind is to enjoy what is going to happen. So I think that one is a different kind of a way to deal with destiny, and very few people can uh, approach choose a way of that. But society has a way to term these people as they are carefree. The second type of people are called as losers. The third people are called as crazy, and they don't have any goal in in their life. Nothing is fixed for them. Nobody will give their girl to them if they want to get married. लाइफ में कुछ लक्ष्य नहीं है, जो जैसा आएगा वैसा. But that is also one way of dealing, and that's, I'm not in favor of that, or not I'm against it, but I'm just telling that's a very brave way of living life. Whatever is coming, I will enjoy it. I will become ready to face that. And the third way is, again, many people fall in this type of approach, is that victim and helpless approach. He, God has made my destiny, and I have done some karmas in my past life or this life, and that is why it has come to me, and I can't do anything about it. I have to just suffer. I have to just suffer and suffer and suffer. So that is the fourth way of people deal their destiny with. And the last one is the smart people, in the sense they blame the destiny or the Chitragupta or the god or their bosses in professional loss, or other people when they are not successful. And when they are successful, they claim, "See, I have done it. It is my karma, it is my talent, and I have done it." So these are a few ways one can one approaches to destiny. And mind you, whichever way you want, you are free to choose. And every way has its own pluses and minuses. Okay, so I thank you for your attention here. And now I would like to ask you if you, and I would like to also show you one more slide, because though I am not in favor, but there are people who want to know, what is the way to approach goal-oriented approach to destiny. So some few points which most of the people know, but still that the destiny, the goal-oriented destiny approach is again through karma only. Okay, and the karmas are two types. One is non-physical and physical. Once you start thinking, once you start desiring something, attach your feelings to it, take a oath. In olden times when sadhus and all, they used to say sankalp. The power of sankalp is so much in our human life that once you decide something without thinking of the outcome, without thinking of the perils which are going to come, without thinking of the challenges, then it gives really real power to pursue it, and there are high possibilities that you will achieve it. So intention, oath is important, and then your attention to it with feelings, and then before it is coming in your life, you keep on dreaming about it, visualizing it, that it has already happened. And when it happens, how does it feel? Suppose you want to become a doctor, you start thinking that you are already become a doctor. How are you looking wearing that doctor's stethoscope? Okay, how are you feeling when your patients are telling you, very good doctor, you are god to me? How you are feeling? All these things you keep on visualizing. Then that what happens is that the energy inside you becomes bigger and bigger, and that energy propels outside into the outer world, and you start putting massive action. You start studying, you start taking admission in a doctor's college, you start giving your heart and soul to the examination, and then you become a doctor. And during all those actions which you are taking, keep on repeating your oaths, your intention, your karmas. And while you are doing it, you can also use water for influencing, because what 70% of our body is water, and water, if you study, there is a memory which water can carry, and we have trillions of cells in our body. So if you want to, and each cell has its own mind and brain, and it can influence our behavior, our action. So if you in past times, they used to put mantras in water and throw. So it is not wrong, it's correct. So right now also, when you want to take a oath or remind yourself and put energy in your body, you can take a glass of water, you can put your thought, your energy inside it by just saying it, and then drink that water. What will happen is that that water will go to your body, it will reach to trillion cells in your body, and pass on that message. So, and that is not just my thinking or the spiritual. Even science has proven that they have seen the water crystals, the memory of water. If somebody is thinking ill about you, okay, and gives that water to you, and when you when that water comes in your hand, the molecular structure of the water changes. It will be a surprise for you, but if you go and read, you will find that it is true. So these are some ways you can approach goal oriented destiny. And this, with this, I want to rest my case, and I want to ask people if they have anything to add, because this is a discussion. I'm not saying, I am not proposing anything here. I'm just sharing my knowledge and discussing with you. So anything that you want to ask, you can raise your hand, I will unmute you, or you have already unmuted yourself. Anybody wants to ask anything? We are 8 people, 10 people, I think. So I'm sure, because the topic is such a huge thing that in 10 to 12 slides, putting each and every detail is extremely difficult. But I tried to make it as short and give an overview. You can, if you want to ask, then raise your hand, or you can ask. I will try to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, Surajit this side. Surajit.
Yes. Yes.
I just want to one thing, that is when we are accumulating our thoughts, that is when thoughts are going in distraction, then what should be done us when we are getting distracted?
Sorry?
When we are getting, when we are pursuing a thought, we are getting distracted. Okay.
Right.
So what is the process where we can actually, this is what it is deviating from the path which I had thought. So how to bring it to the path?
Okay. So yeah. So you are asking me what is the path to even if you get distracted, how to reorganize and come
Yes,
back
yes,
again to the
yes, yes, yes,
thought
yes,
which you. So I
yes,
think
yes.
there is no easy answer to it, because the thought which you choose to pursue now, uh, that has to have a attachment with your soul. Okay, so if you have to look at that thought in such a way that if you don't get that and if you don't pursue it, uh, you will lose something in life very big time. So first of all, you have to attach your feelings to that thought and not just I want to become this. If you become that, what will happen in your life, and what if you don't become that, what will you lose? If that thing is there in your mind, I'm not saying that you will not get distracted. There are very few people who don't get distracted, but when your attachment to that thought and feeling is so much that even if you get distracted, you will come back. So there is no easy answer to this. The only answer is that you get attached to this thought so much that first of all you don't get distracted, and even if you get distracted, you have the power to come back. The power is like whatever you are distracted, that not give you that joy or that love which this thought is not giving. Okay,
Okay,
and it is not as easy hacked as one wants, because there is a mythical story in here of focus and concentration. If you know Vishwamitra, who was
yeah,
doing tapo for so many years, even he got distracted when constant disturbance was there. So it is not very easy but it is definitely possible, because even there is another example which is opposite, which is from again Mahabharata, that when Sri Krishna wanted to his guru asked him, what are you when he was asked to point at a bird's eye, he was asked what you are seeing. So he was only able to see the eye. So though there was tree, though there was apple, so he was not able to see because his whole being was there. So Rajit,
okay,
it is very important question, but
yeah,
easily is said and very difficult to do. But then those who are able to do it, they can pursue. And another thing which I wanted to also tell you is that this 60 to 80,000 thoughts which they keep on coming. What to do about this thought? First thing is that you love your goal and whatever you have desired so much that they don't distract you. Second is you keep on finding some time throughout the day to meditate, half an hour, 45 minutes, in the sense that when you meditate, what happens is all the thoughts which are creating impression on you start uh, going down. They start falling. They start not getting attention. So when they don't get attention, they start going down. And when they start going down, the only thought which remains is your goal. Okay. So these are two, three things which you can do, and it's only practice and practice and practice. Rajat. And also, one more question
thank
in
you.
another session, people had asked me. Yeah, thank you. So, one more question people had asked me in another session when I conducted, that when I talked about seed and when I talked about multiple seeds in human beings, they asked me, suppose I want to be a doctor. How do I choose a seed? Which seed I have to choose to become a doctor? How do I know inside me? Okay. So, how do I know which seed to pursue? So, here two answers are there. First is that any seed you choose, any seed you choose, you can become the best of it. Okay, your choice, your choice is also important, and your choices is also can be exercised. So if you choose something, then there are two ways. One is the trial and error method. You try doing this thing, you try to become doctor. If you're not able to do, then try something else, and one fine day you will find that yes, this is your seed. So some people are able to do it early in their career, and they find and they do it and they become successful. Very, like Sachin Tendulkar found very early in his life that the only seed he wants to nurture is a cricketer seed. So it is accidental, or he tried to pursue something, and that is one way of doing it. That, and other people, they keep on trying lots of things, this that, and some way in the midlife they find that yes, this is my seed, and then they start getting success. And some people throughout their life, they keep on trying multiple seeds, and they don't end up becoming a tree for any seed. The other approach is that, which is a law of attraction kind of approach, is that suppose you want to become a doctor or a trainer, then what you do is instead of concentrating on seed, you start concentrating directly on the plant on or the tree. Okay, because there is in business there is something called as forward integration and there is a backward integration. So reality happens both ways. Reality happens from A to Z also and from Z to A also. Okay, how? So A to Z I told you multiple ways you keep on trying कि मैं ये बन सकता हूँ, मैं वो बन सकता हूँ, मैं वो बन सकता हूँ, and then the right thing that you when you find that you click, that time you start pursuing it and वो बन जाओगे. दूसरा मेथड ये है कि मेरे को ये बनना है, तो क्या करना है, इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट सीड, यू इन योर माइंड यू फर्स्ट रीच टू ट्री, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन. मतलब वड़ा पाव खाना है तो पहले वड़ा पाव दिखो, और फिर वड़ा पाव दिख रहा है तो उसके अंदर क्या क्या दिख रहा है, इसके अंदर पाव दिख रहा है, चटनी दिख रहा है, लाल चटनी दिख रहा है, ग्रीन चटनी दिख रहा है, वड़ा दिख रहा है, वड़े के अंदर क्या दिख रहा है, बटाटा दिख रहा है. देन यू स्टार्ट कमिंग बिहाइंड, पहले क्या करना पड़ेगा, पहले फिर ये लगेगा, देन ऑटोमेटिकली your mind will tell you what is the seed and you start nurturing. Okay, and I think I have done it in my life that way. First, say 4 5 years back I started thinking myself as a trainer, and I started purchasing clothes for how a trainer dress. I started purchasing those clothes. I started imagining myself how I look, I am presenting in front of people. So I started creating a tree inside me first, and then when I started creating tree, the tree led me to the seed slowly, 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 and then I started doing things. And today the tree is becoming bigger and bigger. So, so I think this is what which I wanted to share, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. And there are no questions, so we can close this session. Okay. So thank you very much.